just moments before we went live, we saw the minibus taxi crash along the bank. It's actually just about 100 meters away from the creche where yesterday's minibus taxi crash actually took place. But there's many concerns that are being raised about the roadworthiness of those vehicles that are ferrying the scholars in this area. And to extend on that conversation, Michelle, I'm going to bring in Sindi Msimang, who's the RTI spokesperson, who's going to share details with us now. Firstly, just talk to me about your findings when you look at the vehicle that was involved in today's incident.
Good morning to you and the viewers at home. With my naked eye, I can actually see that this vehicle is not in a good condition. Even the inside of the vehicle, you can actually see that this vehicle is not roadworthy. Even with my naked eye outside, the vehicle itself, it's just not roadworthy at all. But surprisingly, the license says this vehicle is roadworthy. So it really brings concerns that this vehicle is roadworthy on paper, but when you look at it, the vehicle is just not roadworthy at all. And these vehicles are conveying passengers for reward. There are people that are paying for services, but these services that they receive, they are actually life-threatening.
Conveying not just passengers, but in this, in both situations, children to different schools in the area.
That is indeed correct. Yesterday's minibus was conveying scholars from the vicinity of Imbali, high schools. Same as this one, it was conveying, it is operating and conveying scholars from Imbali community. So it is really concerning, and we'd like to urge the owners and the drivers to actually check their vehicles thoroughly and ensure that the vehicle does go for roadworthiness, not on paper, physically, because it will result in such instances like this where we lose lives of children, and these are future leaders.
Thank you very much for your time, spokesperson. Michelle, quickly, I just want to bring in the residents that have houses along this road. Of course, there's also much concern when you're looking at them. Firstly, just talk to us about your concerns. There was an incident that took place yesterday, 5 children losing their lives when a taxi crashed into the creche. You have a house right along this road, another accident happening just a few meters away from your house. Talk to me about your concerns.
Ya bandla besicela nje siwumphakathi kusishaqise kakhulu nje okwenzeka izolo izingane zilahlekelwe umphefumulo kanje la ecreche okusobala nala kuthina nje nakho la kwami ila iduzane nje ne creche la inzansi obesicela bandla ukuthi nje kube nentuthuko la emphakathini wethu mhlawumbe kube nama speed humps ngoba lo mgaqo nje obuvuleke kakhulu kangaka kwesinye isikhathi ukubone bespina nezimoto la of which nje I safety nje la njoba thina sinemizi la ngenzansi ayikho right.
Michelle, that's one of the residents who has her house along this road, and she states that there's safety concerns when you're looking at this particular road. In fact, we know that even in 2015, just up the road, there were at least 14 scholars that lost their lives when they died when a minibus taxi also crashed. But yesterday's crash, we know that different officials, when you're looking at the provincial government in KZN, are going to be visiting different families sometime today, Michelle, to offer support to those that have been injured and to those that lost their loved ones. But also there's people that are now disputing those allegations that have been raised about the driver from yesterday. We know, of course, that it was stated that he abandoned his vehicle. However, this morning it seems as if the community is singing a different tune, stating that he was part of the community that actually pulled out the children in that minibus taxi yesterday.
Just absolutely shocking, even just looking at the inside of that minibus taxi on the scene there. Silethiwe Ndlovu, thanks for that update.